at CC Block, where one of my black movement leaders was locked up while she was protesting with national organizers. So housing work, whoever you are, I need you to pay Sebi. I'm going to give you her cash app because she sat in a prison cell for 27 hours and not one of you all showed up for her. Y'all going to pay this young black organizer. So I'm going to holler at y'all after my speech. So y'all got that DC welcome, right? Back to business, y'all. So I want to welcome y'all to DC, right? My name is Nene Teller. I'm a native Washingtonian, born and raised in the most marginalized part of the city, Southeast. Holler at Southeast. Southeast out here? Southeast, they ain't out here because they don't believe in national organizers. But it's okay, because I'm going to be here for them to represent them. I'm a co-organizer with Black Lives Matter DC. I rise up every day with the spirit of my ancestor, Harriet Tubman, walking on top of the railroad tracks, being unapologetically black. It is my duty to love, support, and protect black people. Therefore, I'm intentional when I show up to dismantle systems that were not built for us. Patriarchy, gotta go. Imperialism, gotta go. Capitalism, gotta go. It's time for us to radically dismantle a system that dehumanizes and devalues black people by finally confronting the root of the problem, our nation's legacy of enslavement and white supremacy. We must collectively work to elevate. Somebody doing something to my thing. Hold 1 second. We're going to get it back together. Y'all, look, y'all, I'm being honest. I wrote this at 6:30 because Sebi right here, I was there. I ain't had time, but I'm here for y'all. We keep us safe. We must collectively work to elevate the voices and needs of those who have been directly impacted by our current system and invest in solutions that build on the hope and resilience of our communities. As the nation's capital, Washington, D.C. is a lightning rod for national organizing, but it's also home to the more than 700,000 people, 47% of whom are black, including thriving local movement of committed activists, organizers, and community members struggling with issues on local level. Shout out to my fam. They out here, y'all. Out here. Who keep us safe? Who keep us safe? Police in D.C. don't keep us safe. Not 32 independent police stations here in D.C., and they don't keep us safe. We keep us safe. For those who don't know, Washington, D.C. is not a state, which means we lack the power to make basic decisions about our city or hold elected representatives responsible. D.C.'s systematic disenfranchisement come out of legacy of racism and bigotry. When we vote, our legislation is held right there. I want y'all to pay attention. That's where our legislation is done. But we don't get to make the decision. It got to go to Congress. So Congress decide what we do here in D.C. So be clear, D.C. is not a state. When your national organizations outsiders ignore the knowledge, needs, and the desires of people who live here, you all play into a larger recolonial framework that we live in every day. Therefore, I challenge you to help us. Help us fight. Help us fight for statehood. Help us fight to decrease sex work. Help us fight for the Breathe Act. Help us fight to end cash bail. Help us fight to defund the police. Leave D.C. better than the way you found it. To be honest, it's disheartening and disrespectful to see so many celebrities, influencers come out in the 10th hour who feel they can speak for our people. I encourage you to Google the J20 president inauguration. Almost 4 years of local black people place our bodies on the line. We lock down and we block the interests of those who came to usher in a person who never had marginalized black people best interests at heart. We've been fighting before 4 years, and we still fighting. Therefore, I need you not to shame or demand black people to show up in regards to voting. Voting is only one tool towards our liberation. The question for me isn't will my people turn out to vote. The question is, will the oppression stop suppressing votes in the marginalized communities and poor communities. Will white people condemn racism and the white supremacist violence against our communities and destruction of our planet by voting the current sitting president out of office? Will the wealthy use platforms to do more than tell us to vote, redistribute the resources to make it easier? Will the government that represents the people wait till every vote is counted to declare the winner? Ask them, don't ask me, because my community been ready and we still coming. We coming to set our people free. My call to action is today is to trust black leaders in the black community and invest in black power. So if y'all want to know how to do it, donate and build with us. You guys can go to our Black Lives Matter Twitter, where we're doing things right now, at Black Lives Matter, at DMV Black Lives. Follow us and invest in black communities to freedom.
Black lives matter! Black lives matter! Black lives matter! Black lives matter! Hello, my beautiful and good people. Thank you so much for being here today, from wherever you're traveling from, and being here safely, because we ain't fools, we believe in science, and we is masking up. My name is Sonia Spoo, and I am the campaigns director and director of reproductive rights campaigns at Ultraviolet, a 1.2 million member strong feminist advocacy organization that is working to move the political, cultural, and social needle for a more just and feminist future. I am here also as a strong and proud black woman with 400 years of my ancestors' struggle, triumph, and win in me. But today, I want to focus on us. That's right, us. Not the politicians, not the judges, not the justices, not the Coney Barretts, or any of those fools. Not the corporate moneyed interests either, but us. Those of us who have been working in our communities, in our families, here today, digging in deep through what has been a hard and painful past several years. Disappointment, trauma, but also triumph. Also win. It's not just about the wrongs, it's about the ways in which we are going to make this right. Because it is too easy to give in to despair. And despair clouds our eyes to purpose and narrows our arteries against change. So we do not have the privilege of giving into despair, but we have the might of giving into and leaning into our future triumph. So as we say in my tradition, joy cometh in the morning, and today is a stunningly beautiful morning. You know, at times like this, I think a lot about the helpers, as Mr. Rogers told us to, who, for the record, I would love a president more like Mr. Rogers than anywhere near like fucking Donald Trump. But the helpers, those of us, those of you in your communities who notice a neighbor who is disabled or who is elderly and went grocery shopping for them so they wouldn't have to risk COVID by going to the grocery store. The doctors and nurses who, without any guidance, without any protection from our government, have fought violently to protect lives with a novel virus that we still are learning so much about. Let's give it up for our first responders and our nurses and essential workers. The fact of of the matter is that it's the everyday acts of service, the actions that help us all get through and work through these trying times. Because our elected leaders, they abandon us. They have not passed COVID relief, well, recently at least. They have done very little to help us. So it's been on us, our communities, our collective power and resources to push through. And let us be clear, it is women who are both bearing the brunt of this inaction, but also leading the charge forward. It's the aunties, the grandmas, the daughters, the sisters, the mothers. We continue to bear the brunt of this crisis on our shoulders, but come November 3rd, it will be because of women, especially Black, brown, and indigenous women, stepping up and having said, enough. What are we saying? Enough. One more time, enough. We are standing up. We are taking back our time, our space in our country, because we are speaking now. We are speaking now. Who's speaking now? We're speaking now. The fact of the matter is that we are powerful, and they are afraid. They are afraid, y'all. They are on the ropes, and they know it, and we're about to give the KO punch. It is people organizing, refusing to give in or be cast out, who have truly moved this country forward. When we say no justice, no peace, it's not simply a chant, it's a promise that precedes action. It is this promise of good trouble, necessary struggle, that has made this country ever come close to approximating greatness. We know that our presence here today, our presence here tomorrow, our presence in the voting booth, whether it's now by mail or in physical voting booths on November 3rd, is a blessing, a miracle, and a repudiation of the forces of oppression that have for too long worked overtime to limit our power. But they can't stop us. They cannot stop our power. You know, I chuckle when I hear pundits and reporters ask the president if he will peacefully transfer power. I chuckle because, and hear me when I say, when we vote him out come November 3rd, it's a when we vote him out, not an if, but when we vote him out come November 3rd. There is no choice. Let me be very clear. Donald Trump will not get to choose whether or not he stays in power. That is not his power. It is our power. So come hell or high water, and in the immortal words of Papa Pope from Scandal, we are the hell and the high water. Donald Trump is leaving office, and there is no choice for him. It is our choice, and we are voting him out come November 3rd. Let's be very real. Change does not come from the best angels of the powerful, but from the dogged determination of the everyday people doing small acts about relationships, community, and love that lead to big acts of transformation. So again, I say, it is about us, our power, our freedom. It is about us winning come November 3rd. But the work doesn't stop there. No, it's the beginning. Because we are going to keep building power in our communities to hold those in power accountable to us. Lest they forget, who are they beholden to? Us. 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 So I'm fired up. I am ready to go. This is a fight for our lives, but we are not wearied. We are just beginning. And I don't believe we will win. I know we will win. What's that? We know we will win. We know we will win. We know we will win. So thank you. God bless. And let's win come November 3rd. Thank you.
Taking off my mask. I woke up today and put on my marching boots. I bought these boots in Austin, Texas, 7 years ago, after the Wendy Davis filibuster. In 2013, future Congresswoman Wendy Davis stood for 13 hours. She couldn't eat, she couldn't drink, she couldn't sit, she couldn't lean, she couldn't do a whole bunch of other things that you need to do within 13 hours to delay the passage of a horrible bill that would have almost eliminated abortions in the state of Texas. We won that night. But a week after, the Texas state legislature called a second special session to jam that bill through. And a week later, I was back down in Texas, and I bought these boots. 7 years later, we are not done marching. I'm Jenny Lawson. I'm the executive director of Planned Parenthood Votes. And it is my job to ensure that we send reproductive health care champions to that building down there and that building over there, up and down the ballot. It is not hyperbole to say that everything is on the line this November. We cannot afford 4 more years of this administration attacking our access to reproductive health care and rights. After what we saw in this Judiciary Committee this last week, we cannot afford 4 more years of John Cornyn and Joni Ernst falling in line behind Trump and his judicial nominees. That's why Planned Parenthood Votes is investing historic amounts of time, money in this election cycle on some amazing candidates. Candidates who are unapologetically committed to fighting for access to safe and legal abortion, birth control, and equity around maternal health for everyone, including women, immigrants, the LGBTQ community, Black and brown people, and Indigenous communities. Alongside people across every state in this country, people like you are here today. We are mobilizing voters today because Republican senators cannot keep their jobs when they steal Supreme Court seats while people are voting and while the election is happening. They are prioritizing power grabs over pandemic relief as millions of Americans fall into poverty and ignore a racial reckoning in our country while intentionally amplifying racist organizations. But thankfully, we have a choice. We can choose decency over hate. We can choose Joe Biden and Senator Kamala Harris. But let me tell you, they need strong allies in Congress, because when they are elected to protect and defend our rights, they've got a job to do. This has been an incredible election cycle, and we have competitive races across the country in places that were previously counted out. I don't know what's going on, but yay. Oh. Bye, Trump. He's out of here. He's out of here. Hey, 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 goodbye. Na, 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 na. I mean, I don't got much else to say. I want to tell you, though, about Sarah Gideon in Maine, about Mark Kelly in Arizona, about Jamie Harris in South Carolina. And y'all, I'm from Kansas. I want to tell you about Dr. Barbara Boyer, Rock Chalk, and Teresa Greenfield in Iowa. And we got to make sure to send back some champions like Jean Shaheen in New Hampshire, Gary Peters in Michigan, who told his heartbreaking abortion story, and a Planned Parenthood alum, Tina Smith in Minnesota. And we cannot forget the House, the brave, brave House full of women who are warriors, and we need to add some more to them. Nikema Williams in Georgia. Wendy Davis from Texas. The boots. Maureen Newman from Illinois. Desiree Timms and Candace Valenzuela. And here's the thing you guys know. Contacting voters is the thing we have to do. Everybody, your mom, your sister, the person you met at the bus stop, the person you didn't meet at the bus stop, your teachers, your kids' soccer team, everyone needs to vote. And what you're gonna do right now, every single one of you, is take out your phone. Get out your phone now. I'm gonna use my mom voice on you. I want you to punch in the number. Come on, I'm giving you time, come on. 2242. 22422. 22422. 22422. And you're gonna text organize to that number. You're gonna get a link to download, and we're gonna give you instructions later on in the event, but this is how you're gonna text everybody you know. This is how you're gonna contact voters today, because we're not just about marching, we're about voting today. There's a lot riding on this election, I don't have to tell you, but who I really wanna introduce has a better story than I do, and I am honored to introduce Jasmine, a fierce advocate for abortion rights from Baltimore. Jasmine, come on out.
Thank you, Jenny. So, I'm Jasmine Clemens, and I'm proud to say that I've had an abortion. When I needed an abortion, it had long been safe, legal health care in this country. But I had to overcome far too many obstacles to lay claim to my constitutional right. No one in the United States should depend on luck for bodily autonomy. I'd been on birth control for years, but as we all know, things happen. I got pregnant. I was in my early 20s, working retail, thousands of miles away from my family. And though I was young and in love, my partner and I knew we weren't ready to be parents and raise a child. With everything in me, I knew that my decision was the right choice for me. So I called my gynecologist right away. I had no clue where and how to get an abortion. And so when I explained what I needed and asked the nurse about abortion care, she was curt and judgy, and she said, "The doctor will help you and no such thing." Strike one. So next, I found the one and only abortion provider in my town, but the cost was far more than I could afford. It was more than my rent. Strike two. I felt like desperation and fear were beginning to swallow me whole. I still needed an abortion, but time was passing by at this point, and I was running out of options. Out of nowhere one day, though, I saw a sign on campus, and it read, "Pregnant, need help?" Bingo, right? So I found my way to the address printed on the sign, relieved at this point because I just knew I was going to get the help that I desperately needed. I sat down in a room with this woman, and she started asking me questions. Where are your parents? What's your religion? What would God think about your decision? I was stunned. I was completely taken aback. I was angry and offended. I realized that this woman didn't want to help me at all because I had unknowingly walked into a crisis pregnancy center. Strike three. I was this close to giving up. But then it somehow dawned on me that maybe I should try calling my health insurance carrier. To this day, I have no idea where I got the inclination to do so. But thankfully I did, because I was lucky enough to be on an employer coverage plan that would cover a portion of my abortion costs. The key words here are lucky enough. This entire ordeal was over a month's time. And then to get my abortion, I had to take a day off of work, travel several hours away, still pay a fair amount of money. But in the end, I not only got the abortion I needed, I was treated with compassion and care. So many others in this country are not as lucky. Some don't have health insurance, or their health insurance doesn't cover abortions. They don't have an understanding employer where they can take a whole day off of work, or even a mode of transportation. If I had lacked any one of those things, I would not have been able to make the best choice and decision for my life, my body, and my future. And had I known about Planned Parenthood, I would have gotten the unbiased information and care that I deserve from my very first phone call. No one in this country should have to go through the hoops that I did just to get the basic health care that they need. No one. And if Trump gets another Supreme Court judge confirmed, more folks will face even greater barriers, especially Black women like myself. We can't let that happen again. We cannot let Mitch McConnell and Trump take away our constitutional rights. That's why I'm here today. That's why you all are here today. We are here in honor of all the people who have fought for this right, like Justice Ginsburg. Justice Ginsburg spent a lifetime fighting for people like us. And so we need to be reminded that we have the power. We can and we must fight for our democracy and our rights. Time and time again, Trump and his cronies act against women and people in our autonomy. We know that, and we won't be fooled. So let's stand up and speak out. We will stop Trump and Mitch McConnell. Yes. And if you can only do one thing, it's to get your families, your friends, the lady at the grocery store, your Uber driver, get everyone that you know to vote for pro-choice candidates up and down the ballot, because this is the most important election of our lifetimes. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Jasmine. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you. Can we get a thank you? There's so much on the line this November, and we're excited. The polls are looking good, but here's what I'm going to tell you after doing this for a really long time. Polls, schmoles. Don't believe them. We got to run through this tape. We got to win by a landslide. There has to be absolutely no question that that man has lost. And that means that you need to reach out to everybody you know. We've given you a list, the woman at the grocery store, the person at the bus stop, your friends, your family, your aunt, everyone. So please, once again, if you haven't done it already, I'm giving you a second chance. Pull out that phone, 22422, and type the word organize. You will get a link, and that's how we're going to contact voters today. We're not just marching, we're voting. Thank you.
Hello, good people. I'm Fatima Gosgraves. I'm president of the National Women's Law Center Action Fund, and I'm so glad to be with you. You know, as I'm looking around, I am reminded that I am standing here among and in front of people who have been marching, who have been making phone calls, who have been voting, who have been demanding change for years. What a journey we have been on together. And I gotta tell you, when I wasn't sure if I could keep going, it is women in this country who gave me the inspiration that I needed. Because long before this pandemic, you marched. You marched for the ability to be paid fairly and justly. You marched in support of mamas who were ripped from their babies. You marched against efforts to ban abortion. You marched and you made calls and you rallied and you saved health care. you were ready for this moment. So when the world turned upside down this year, it was women who showed up as essential workers, the vast majority of them were women, demanding more, keeping us going. You are the parents who have been working and parenting and homeschooling full-time without support. You brought your children with you to march in support of Black lives. You showed up for teachers who were forced into classrooms unsafely. You have been called on again and again and again, and each time you show up. And some of you may have been running on some fumes, thinking, okay, I have just enough to get by. I'm almost there. And then we lost Notorious RBG. In fact, it has been only 4 weeks since we got the news that we lost the architect of our foundational rights in this country. She is the woman who dreamed up the idea that women could be equal under the law at a time when the courts had actually said no. And she's gone. So I won't lie to you guys, I am a lawyer, and the last 4 weeks have really shaken me in my core beliefs around institutions, my core beliefs in the law, my core beliefs in this democracy. This week we watched as Lindsey Graham made a mockery of our democracy. Over 10 million people had already voted when he conducted this sham hearing, racing through this radical nominee. And after a week of hearings, in case you're confused on this point, I am left without a doubt that if she is confirmed, she will undermine our rights. She will undermine our access to health care. She will undermine our access to reproductive health care, to abortion, from voting rights to climate change. She refused to even answer basic questions. She refused to say whether the president could unilaterally change the date of the election. I am here to tell you the answer is no. But our very democracy is at stake. So I'm coming to you today knowing that you might be a little bit exhausted, that you might have spent the last few months worrying about family who are sick, that you are caring and working and teaching and parenting, and it might feel like too much. And you know what? It is too much. But we are also too much. We are powerful. And although we have been through a lot, as Maya Angelou said, history, despite its wrenching pain, cannot be unlived. But if faced with courage, we need not live it again. So we need you. We need your courage so that you don't relive the pain of this past and instead create a country that serves all of us. We need you to rise for ourselves, for our bodies, for our lives. We need you to rise in support of Black lives. We need you to rise up and defend our democracy, and I need you to vote. I need you to vote. I need your mama to vote. I need your cousins to vote. I need your neighbors to vote, because voting, it is not just an act of resistance. It is an exercise in hope. And we need that right now. We need hope. We need rage. We need everything you got over these next few weeks to show the world the force that brought us Me Too, the force that stopped abortion bans, the force that saved health care, that rallied again and again and again. When we come together, when we own our power, when we act with courage, we win. Will we win? Will we win? Will we win? All right, I'm now going to introduce my sister in the movement and the work, Jess Rochetto from Karen Action and Supermajority.
Hello. I don't think I heard you over there in the back. Hello. Okay, now I feel like we're ready. Okay, so after me, we're gonna march. I know, it's what you've been waiting for. I don't blame you. You know, as I look out on all of you, I see so many people who are choosing hope over fear. People who are coming out in the middle of a global pandemic that didn't have to be this way. People who are coming out in the middle of election season and saying, we're ready. And I gotta be honest with you, I'm ready too. I'm ready to get out of my house. I'm an extrovert. I need to be around people. I'm ready to stop talking about things that should already have happened. We should already have health care for every single person that lives in this country. We should already have an immigration system that welcomes people and says they are here. We should already have a living wage in this country that pays people what they deserve. We should already have access to the health care that we need, reproductive justice for every single person who wants it and needs it. And no one, not the Supreme Court, not Congress, not state legislators, nobody should tell us what we should do with our bodies. We should already have a White House that actually cares about keeping us alive. We should already have a Congress and state legislators and governors and senators and state houses full of women and trans and non-binary and gender non-conforming people. In fact, we should have a Supreme Court that doesn't just have women on it, but feminists on it. We're not just talking about a woman justice, we're talking about justice for women. So yes, right after this, we're gonna march and we're gonna vote. In fact, today, in 36 states, millions of women are marching to the polls. We're not just voting to get Donald Trump out of office or to turn the Senate away from the Republicans. We're voting for ourselves. We're voting for the future that we want. We're voting for a country with dignity and respect and justice for every single person. So yes, women are voting, and trans people are voting, and people who care about health care are voting, and people who want to get out of their house are voting. And we're marching, and we're going to keep doing that stuff no matter who's in the White House, because this country needs us to keep fighting, not just against Trump, but for ourselves and for the future that we want. I gotta be honest with you, over these last 4 years, it's been really hard. And I think that actually this next 3 weeks is gonna be the hardest part. So you're gonna have to take something that you haven't, whatever's left over, and I know there's not that much gas in the tank. And I hope you're looking around at everybody here and realizing that there is so many more of us than there are of them. Amy Coney Barrett shouldn't be confirmed. But even if she is, and even if he wins, and even if the Senate is still Republican, I'm going to keep fighting. I'm going to wake up every day until we get the country that we deserve. to go to the mall right now. We're going to stand with all of those women who are voting all around the country. We're going to text voters to get out and vote, and we're going to march. Let's go.
One, two, three, four, five. Test, test, test. 1, 2. I'm right in front of you, Danny. I'm with you. I do want to get away from the music, but also known as a buster, always talking about what he wants and just sits on his broke ass. So no, I don't want your number, no. I don't want to give you mine, and no, I don't want to meet you nowhere, no. I don't want to make your time, and no, I don't want no scrub. The scrub isn't gonna take you love from me. Hanging on the passenger side of his best friend's ride, trying to holler at me. I don't want no scrub. The scrub isn't gonna get
march to the front.
Sure, yeah.
They'll probably end up. What am I going to tell them?
Sure. We should just get away from the music. If we can. I mean, I can adjust otherwise. 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2.
My grandmother's mother. Good luck. Oh, they want to take it. Where was You look great.
I hope it still is. I haven't called to double check.
You know what? Up the line.
Danny, we got boom on 2. Yeah, well, if something's at issue, it's going to be recorded, and we'll just hand it to Lawson. He can run back as fast as he can. The numbers aren't like they were at the MLK March where everything stopped working.
I'll let you get ahead. I'll let you get ahead of us. Okay, so back and forth with the sound, or just... Okay, if that's the case, then I'd rather just... I think that'll look weird.
All right. We'll get rid of that. Hold on to this. We're rolling.
Excellent. Alrighty, so tell me your name.
My name is Latoya.
Walking and talking.
Okay. My name is Latoya Wright. I'm from Atlanta.
Okay, and can you spell that for me?
Yes, it's Latoya.
And your last name spelled out?
White, like the color, WHITE.
Excellent. So tell me why you're marching.
Well, with the climate of everything, with Black Lives Matter, with the Supreme Court justice, I felt inspired to just come out and make my voice heard.
And what do you think of the messages so far?
Everything, well, how I feel has been accurate here. And I think it's been amazing for everyone to come out, especially in the climate of everything with COVID and just everything going on. I think it's inspiring.
Have you voted already?
I actually have. I went the first day in Georgia, which was this past Monday.
So then what do you see as your duty and purpose here?
Just coming out to make sure my voice is heard and like I'm able to do something, which I also felt when I went to vote on Monday as well.
And what are the issues that matter most to you in this election?
For me, I would say, well, first, I think there's so many people that are struggling right now when it comes to job situations in the economy. With Black Lives Matter, really understanding each other and the purpose of it. And then even with women's rights, it's kind of scary with Amy coming in and being as conservative as she is, making sure our voices are still heard.
Excellent. Well, I think we have everything we need, unless there's anything else you care to share or add.
No, I'm good.
Vote him out! Vote him out!
Actually, my vote him out! This one.
Vote him out!
Vote him out!
Vote him out! Vote him out! Vote him out!
I was on a t-shirt like that. That's all right.
Vote him out! Vote him out! Vote him out!
Oh, yes. Hi.
Hi. So you're here with your whole family?
Whole family, absolutely.
Well, if I could get your name really quickly.
Sure, Tony Reed.
And spell that for me.
Tonyreed.
Excellent. Okay, you guys okay? Okay. So tell me why you and your family are out here today.
We're here to get Trump out, for one, support all our women's rights, and be here for Black Lives Matter. We want everybody to be equal and feel safe around our community, not be able to fear injustice.
I guess as a man, why is it important for you to be here, and why is it important to bring your sons?
Well, we want them to be able to express themselves and to be here for everybody. Be equal to men, women, black men, black women. Everybody's equal, and to be here for everybody.
Excellent. And Mom, anything else you care to add?
I'm just happy to be here with my whole family and to teach my sons from a young age the importance of women's rights and equality, and be a good role model for them.
What do you think about being here?
I've been here multiple times with my mom before. We come every year. It's always something big to do with the family, especially as a trans man myself. I love being here and supporting women.
And why do you have that poster of RBG?
Well, I painted it myself. I read her biography. I've always looked up to her and Frida Kahlo have always been big inspirations. I have best friends of black women. I'm always here supporting her. I love being here.
Excellent. Well, very quickly, if we can get your name and your age.
Okay. I'm Kimberly Reed.
Okay.
I'm Kai Hoffman, and I'm 15.
Okay, can you just spell your name really quickly?
K-A-I-H-O-F-F-M-A-N.
Okay, and what's the last name again?
R-E-E-D.
Kimberly Hoffman.
Mhm.
Okay.
One more time.
It's Kimberly Reed.
Kimberly.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys. And
Manny, my son Benjamin Reed.
Okay.
He's 5.
Excellent. Aw.
There you go.
All right, thanks guys.
Marching with the boot too. What a side.
For safety. I think they have more than enough, but I'll try these women here. Excuse me, ladies. Yeah, hi. Would it be possible to talk to you real quick?
that a yes?
Yeah, we'll
Okay,
take
great.
it.
Thank you.
Hi.
Except the tell was
Alrighty, if you could just start off by just stating your names for me first.
I'm Perry Long, Perilong.
I'm Carissa Newsome, Carissasame.
Why are you marching today?
I'm marching for, well, obviously in the respects of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, how she passed away. But I really don't want to see Justice Amy Coney Barrett get reelected because I am scared she'll get rid of Roe v. Wade, which is very important. And it's a human right at the end of the day. I don't see. No peace! Like, no peace! No peace! No peace! And it is a human right at the end of the day, and also for George Floyd, Breonna Taylor. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, so Tamir Rice is very important to me. He was just a kid, and there should have been more justice for him. He was a young boy. I don't understand. More people are not enraged by that.
Have you voted already?
I have my absentee ballot. I will be voting for Joe Biden. That is who my vote's going for.
And what about you? Have you voted?
I have not voted. I am going next week for early voting in Ohio, and I will also be voting for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
Why do you think it's important to vote in this election?
As a 22-year-old woman, I think my future is at stake. I don't want to see Donald Trump reelected.
Oh, sorry, buddy.
what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy
one here. Make one up. Take one up. Do it. Come on.